Hello, once again. My name is Kindama. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you like this program, it's been giving you a different kind of news. So just let you know that you have to subscribe so that you can make this program going further and further. So the more you subscribe, the better we'll make it for this program. But I want to tell you about a story that come from all the way from South Sudan. um, what is 81 people died for because the government want to how to call disarmament of the civilians. The authority in South Sudan said at least 81 people have been killed during heavily fight between armed civilians and soldiers carrying out a disarmament exercise, with several million guns throughout to be in the hands of civilians, and the clashes between rival community common. Disarming the population is a huge challenge for the united government. That is big. I mean, that will be a really big challenge. How in the hell you give all these weapons to people? We're talking about millions of weapons you give to these people, and now where the hell you'll be able to collect them? Where or how this weapon end up to these people anyway? This is what I would like to know if it was like what they did once in Angola when there was civil war, that the government deliberately gave weapons to the people in order to fight against UNITA when they were in the capital city, so they could be able to take out the UNITA into the city. So this is the way they did, or because they were fighting against Arabs in Sudan, because before Sudan was divided, it was one Sudan. Now they had to divide it, the Christians and the Arabs, from what it is. But this will be a story for next time. But yeah, that is a really good question. Is that how they will be able to take all these weapons? The only thing they can do is just like buy all the weapons. But the problem also comes along. I saw in some of the countries, when you put a man on it, the same people that collecting the money, they'll take on the back door, give him back to another people, and then you know you know what I mean. So they bring the weapons, you pay the person, the guy who received the weapon goes on the back door, take the weapons again, and they give to the people. So will be that circle. The government keep on bailing out, keep on paying, and the weapon still continues come and go, come and go. And we know this typical thing that are happening in many countries, when especially when these involve the money. But anyway, it was formed earlier this year following a deadly to the end of 6 year civilian war. As you know, that the South Sudan was became independent from Sudan, as I was explaining, that due to the fact of the Arabs that and the Christians were really cannot be part of the same group, so they end up gaining independence. But after they gained independence, they went on the civil war once again, and that is what a stupid thing that I don't get it. You fought for independence, and as soon as you gain independence, you start fighting one another. And this is what happened in many countries as well. You gain independence. After you gain independence, start fighting who going to be in power, because you promised me, I didn't promise you, I did this, I did that, and all those stuff, which is really stupid. Something that yeah, it's happening to some of these things. Okay. A spokesperson for the for the military in South Sudan said armed youth attack an army camp at night twice. Fighting between the two sides then went on the many hours. Among the dead were 55 soldiers. That was a lot of soldiers. I mean, that was lot of soldiers. How can the soldiers died like this with civilians? Man, the soldiers should be well prepared to avoid all this kind of casualty. That's a lot of soldiers, man. The violence in Warrap State, Toin County, is a sign of how hard it is going to be to disarm civilians in a place where cattle are more important than cash. People want to protect themselves against the frequent rise uh, sorry people themselves against the, oh, he says that in a place where cattle are more important than cash, people want to protect themselves against the frequent raids by rival community. As long as they feel that the state will not protect them, it is likely to be harder to disarm them. Last week, a civil society group warned that if the disarmament is rushed without meaningful consultation, the insecurity could get even worse. Ben, the government needs to take care of this situation because, in some of these tribes or these areas where having cattle is very important than money, so they rely to have security into their animals because some of the people just come and steal those cows and they go away. So to avoid that, that's why they have got weapons in order to control against all those things. So it will be responsibility of the government in order to protect. There should be a protection all these civilians, all these group community that they've got all these animals in order to avoid other community, other groups coming steal those cows or animals. Well, thank you very much for listening. This is Kindama. I'm always here on the ground, post you with all the information about the African continent. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be in touch. Cheers, buddy. Remember to subscribe.